Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday, November 30th. It's still November for another 10 minutes. I just want to do part 5. This is part 5 of the Music of the Night Media Swampstock tutorial, part 5. It's probably the last one of the series about the stocks. So let's just get this done. I think it's going to be a half hour, I hope. And that's it. Earlier this morning, I did part 4, which was all the Dow stocks. And now we're just going to go through, hello cat, we're going to go through all the swamp stocks that I've been highlighting. And without much further ado, I forgot to do Dow first this morning. I was going to do it and I didn't see, so I'm going to do the Dow really fast. I'm just predicting where things are going to be at the end of 2024. I wanted to say that I made a list of everything I predicted earlier, and I will publish that later along with these swamp stocks. It's just saying, and some notes about what I said, and I mean all their prices. But what I did wrong was the whole time I did a 4 hour, it was 4 hours long, like 3 hours of it was just going through the graphs. I just wanted to say very quickly that I was drawing lines that were supposed to be, this was supposed to represent, they were like this. I said, okay, here is the end of 2024, beginning of 2025. And I would draw a line right here that would represent when that is on this graph. And it turns out when I went and actually measured it with my little piece of paper, that it was way more accurate, that this is pretty much where the line should be. So if I had a really steep line doing this, I got my numbers off quite a bit, like my predicted numbers. I got the direction of everything right. It's just my numbers that I was guessing were off by quite a bit. So I might go through when I publish the actual, my predictions. I have a prediction file, stock predictions from 11/28/22 for a year. I have 11/28/22, 11/28/23, 11/28/24. What the numbers of certain stocks are going to be. So I might go through and change that. I did 4 hours of this. I can't believe I made that mistake. I don't think it made a big difference in a lot of places, but where it was steep, I think it made enough of a difference where I'm going to have to change it. And I hate that. I wanted to be done with this. So anyway, I was just drawing the line in the wrong place because I just wasn't careful enough. When I went through, it just seems like it should be here. 2018, 28, like this is 24. When I went and measured it, so whatever. I'm going to redo that. What was the other thing I wanted to say? Stock. Do Dow. Many times I said oversold. Oh, straighten out the Home Depot timing. During that 4 hours, I just went through the whole video because I had to go through and record everything I said on a piece of paper to summarize. But I couldn't figure out about Home Depot. I kept saying, what the heck's going on? I was there. It turns out I was at Home Depot in Coeur d'Alene. I don't know how to pronounce that. Coeur d'Alene means Heart of the Owl, Idaho. I was at that Home Depot twice. That's what happened. The first time I was at that Home Depot delivering, it was in November of 2019. Okay, and during that time is when I finished my epic. I call it epic. It's like this entire paper and study I did on Dred Scott, the 16th Amendment, and the Supreme Court. Mapping out how the Supreme Court should be striking down the 16th Amendment as unconstitutional and why they had the power to do that, blah, blah, blah. So that I finished there in November and published it on, the reason I remember that is because 11/11 was when I published it. So it was just before that, like it was just early November 2019. And then later in April of 2020, I went back to that same Home Depot. So it was 2 different times. And on that trip, I noticed the Home Depot there was very, very strict on the mask mandates and the social distancing mandates, and it was just very odd because not very many of the mandates were followed in very conservative areas of the country. So I got the impression there that Home Depot was under a lot of control and power by the pharmaceutical swamp. So, okay, so that's that. I just wanted to do that for my own good because I couldn't figure out how I finished Epic there, and I had the masks stuff going on when masks happened in 2020 and Epic was in 19 because I went there twice. All right, and the next thing before I get into this is just house cleaning for my own good. Straighten out. Mention you were right about the chip stocks. I'll do that a little bit later when I'll show you a graph. I said something already. One of my predictions was right, and it was about, I said tomorrow they're going to say the chip stocks are on fire because it's time. I said the chip stocks would be up. A lot of the other stocks were up, but one of the first things I saw. Let's just do Dow, and I'll tell you a little bit later when I show another graph later. It came up again. All right. So what's the Dow going to be in 2024? Without much further ado, let's just get on. There's only 8. I think there's only 8 stocks. I'm going to do 8 or 10, so it's going to go very quickly. All right. Fast. All right. So this line's going to represent, I think it was something more like this. Close enough. Okay. Come on, do it right this time. So this is the beginning of 2025, the end of 2024, the end of the election year. And what is Dow going to do? I'm at the Target parking lot. There's a lot of activity here at night. It's a very popular spot for the hot rods to come and peel out and stuff. So I think I decided that was too fake. Sorry. Okay. Cat's eating his food very loudly. You hear him chewing. Very hungry. All right, so in 2024, the Dow is going to be at 2,800. I already said this before. I was just trying to go back. But Dow is going to be at 2,800. And then when Trump comes in, it's going to take off like crazy. But, that's when you should buy the Dow. What it's going to do is, I predict, funny because what's going to tank and what's going to bring down the Dow the most are the swamp stocks that I mentioned, but it's going to be mostly the defense contractor swamp stocks tanking. And because the defense contractor swamp looks a certain way, like the Caterpillar, it has kind of like, I call it the Bart Simpson. So this might go up a little bit more. Oh, sorry, I didn't do that right. I'm actually going to draw what it looks like. I'm actually going to draw what the Bart Simpson kind of, what the stock, I'm going to just for fun, because I think it's what it's going to look like, actually. It's going to look like Bart Simpson 2028. All right, Bart Simpson, here we go. So once it's going to peak, it's going to peak lower. Okay, that's fine. And then it's going to do this Bart Simpson thing. It's going to look ugly. And then at the last minute, drop. Oops. I didn't do it right, but it's okay. I call it the Bart Simpson because it has he has that pointy head. And then it drops. It looks like Caterpillar stock. Caterpillar. Where's Caterpillar? There it is. This kind of stuff. I call it the Bart Simpson, but that's what the Dow is going to do, because it's these stocks here that are going to be doing that. They're going to drop down like that. Except now it's going up, but it's going to do the opposite. It's going to go boop, 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 and then drop. Or maybe it'll go, well, whatever. Okay. Dow 2,800, end of 2024. And on the way down, it's going to do that. All right, enough. I don't know. Whatever. So stupid. All right. Bye, Dow. All right. Then we're going to go through the media swap songs. So Disney, the first stock, I had 8 that I was watching all the time. They all went, the stock market were really high today, and it's like, whatever. When you look at, you go, oh, wow, so Disney really is doing well. But then when you look at the maximum graph, it's sort of, calm down. It's still ugly. The max graph is still ugly. So I looked up Disney a little bit today, and I was trying to figure out, when I said, oh my God, what the heck is this, a defense contractor? It's looked like it's defense contractor and pharmaceutical. And I couldn't understand it, but then I figured it's not defense contractor. It's the environmental. They're big on environmental stuff and all the Paris Accord, and they got all their money, swamp money from Paris Accord stuff and the global warming package. And so Netflix, when Netflix was tobacco, and then tobacco imploded, and then Netflix brought in another CEO who was pharmaceutical, and they said, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to go to the pharmaceutical swamp, and they're going to save us. And it just ended up tanking the whole company. The whole company is going to go out of business because they jumped from one swamp to another. And they should have jumped from one swamp to no swamps and gotten some real sponsors and things for their movies and things. Okay? So, this is, you know what? That's the, I could see myself pretty clearly. I think it's the light from the computer got pretty bright. So Disney has decided to jump from, I'm very bearish on them now, because they have decided to jump from defense swamp, which is what they started here, to pharmaceutical swamp. And now they said, oh no, that's tanking. So the defense contractor swamp, they went back to Bob Iger, who's defense contractor swamp. So they're just, except the difference is Netflix, the co-CEOs, they're not co-CEOing over here, but the co-CEOs, they're both gay guys, and this one, they're both non-gay dumbass morons. So Bob Iger, Bob Chapek, whatever. So, Roger, whatever. So it's done. It's going out of business. There might be it's not doing what I thought. I thought it was going to maybe bounce, and it is going to bounce. So it's bouncing now, I think. Let's say it bounces at, I'm going to say if it bounces at 90. If it bounces at 90, then it's going to be, it's going to end up at 100 at the end of 2024. But I don't think it's going to bounce. So my prediction is it's just this thing. It's just going to go. It's just going out. If it bounces, this could be delayed a little bit, but not, it's done. Like it's going out of business. If it bounces, it'll go up here, down, whatever, but it's just going to go down from here. So, below 50, it's going to be, so my prediction is at 90, it bounces, and if it breaks through, it's going out of business. They're going to have to restructure, and by the end of 2024, it'll be heading into bankruptcy, or what they do is they'll spin off the problem areas, like, the networks and whatever, the streaming, or they'll spin off ABC and whatever, maybe Hulu, I don't know. But they're going to have to save Disney. They're going to have to spin off whatever's causing the bankruptcy, and it's going to be ABC. It's because it's double swamps, and I just don't trust that Iger is going to turn it around. He's just going to try to jump back into the defense contractor swamp money, and he doesn't realize that is imploding right now. So defense contractors last to implode of the swamps. First tobacco, then pharmaceutical, and then comes right around now, I believe, is when the defense contractor swamps are just going to start imploding. And so once that happens, Disney is out of business. Bye, Felicia. CMCSA stock. So this is what I meant. When I was doing this yesterday, I came across Cisco, the daily for Cisco, and I explained. I said, oh, well, this is what happens sometimes in manipulations. There'll be after hours, and if there's like a peak like this, it's not that somebody accidentally sold it at down here when it's way up here. Like they ended the day way up here at 36 and somebody sold it for 35 or whatever accidentally. This is manipulations by the swamp where they're trying to convince a non-gay dumbass moron to sell their stock. I said it for Cisco. I said in Cisco's case they wanted the non-gay dumbass moron to think that Cisco and after hours trading, the Cisco price just dropped a lot and they were going to tank on bad news. So they better sell their stocks immediately as soon as the market opens. And what they're doing is they're trying to get legitimate people to sell their stock so that they can buy it because they are planning on buying a lot of stock the next day. So they just want to try to buy the stock and buy it as cheaply as possible. So, they're going to try to get everybody to sell their stock just before they're ready to run up the stock. So I don't know who they were trying to convince. So I said, that's one indicator that you see that sometimes. But the thing is, I also said that while I'm revealing all my sources and secrets, or not secrets or whatever, I'm just revealing all my observations, I could also be changing I could be changing the way these things happen now. I think I just ruined that indicator because here comes CMCSA. I also said that these swamp people are following me very closely because I'm usually very right, and I was very right about Cisco. I said Intel is oversold, and another thing I did during the swamp tutorial yesterday was I kept saying overbought when it was oversold or oversold when it was overbought. I just don't care what the specifics were. When you look at the graph, you could tell what I meant. If it's down here, it means it's oversold, and if it's up here, it means it's overbought, whatever, vice versa. I don't have time to think about the details of that when I have a stream of consciousness and I'm trying to get a point across. So I had that in my notes to explain that. I know which one is which. It's just sometimes people get particular and they say, oh, she doesn't know what she's talking about. That's the form over function people. I'm really trying to not address them, but at the same time, I just want to try to get as many people under the fold as possible. And I just want to warn you that, Trump does that too sometimes. He'll say something during a rally and I know exactly what he's talking about. But then later on in the news, there'll be something where they say, oh, he'll say this. And they always it's so dumb to watch the news criticize this guy. There's so much about form over function with him and with me sometimes, but I get it completely. I'm just trying to get another thought across, and I don't care about oversold, overbought. It's one way or the other. So anyway, so yesterday I said Cisco and Intel were oversold. And pretty soon they're gonna start to rally, like not just today, for a long time, but they were gonna choose today to do that because they did this. This was one of the things I spotted for the after hours trading, which is very easy to manipulate. I said I could manipulate it with $5,000 sometimes because it's very low volume, and they're just trying to fool some non-gay dumbass moron into selling his stock, so that he doesn't benefit from the rally. Only they want to benefit from the rally. They're always trying to find suckers to dump their money in so that they could take the money. Now, I don't think there's enough suckers out there to really support a lot of this, but maybe there are. I mean, they just do that. I don't think it's the main income. The main income is government bills. When the Congress gives bills, there's billions of dollars, and that's where a lot of their income comes. But this helps when they could sucker people into buying stock or selling stock. It just doesn't seem like there's enough small individual investors doing this. There could be, and I wouldn't believe that there's huge mutual fund people who buy into this garbage, but maybe there are non-gay dumbass morons running huge amounts of money of mutual funds buying into we're going to sell. So it could just be Congress people, maybe it is. They would be dumb enough. Anyway, it's kind of a head fake and trying to get people to sell their stock, or the news people to believe something. I believe. So I said, so that means tomorrow Cisco's going to start low because they're going to fake everybody and try to get everybody to panic into selling all their stock. And then by the end of the day, it's going to be up really high. And it's going to be at least be higher than whatever it started. But I said it was going to be up high. So later on, I checked during the day, just really fast. I checked during the tutorial, but it was too early. It was still going up. But I checked at around noon or whatever, and it was way up. And then I looked at the news, and the news said, and I said the news was going to say, China says this, and so the chip stocks went up today. The chip stocks are up today because of China. Well, I got it wrong as far as what the excuse was. The excuse was, it said something like, is it time to buy? One of the news things was, are chip stocks on fire? And I said exactly what happened. I mean, the chip stocks did go up. It was the top percentage-wise, I think. Like Cisco was like top 4 percentage-wise. But as far as helping the Dow go up, because it wasn't... Anyway, Intel and Cisco went up. But everything else went up as well, too, after that. And that headline went away. It's almost like... I predicted it, it happened, but as soon as I posted this thing and they saw that I predicted it, they ripped down that headline. And they said, oh, she predicted us. And in other words, I wish I took a screenshot of it because it was hilarious. It was exactly what I said would happen for the day trading. So, because they're following me, this is a head fake in the opposite direction. Now they're saying, oh, I think the name of the game now is to prove me wrong. I swear to God. And I'm not being, I'm not having delusions of grandeur over this. I'm right. And I know it, and I'm finding them out, and I'm exposing them. So it's very critical that they prove me wrong to whoever they're trying to convince over there, at NBC, especially Comcast. Freaking, I'm telling them, clear out your freaking stench, okay? Trying to protect my boo, too. The funny thing is, too, baby girl, is that I know I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to protect the money, too, as much as I can, because that's also protecting your independence, and it's protecting a lot of stuff. But it's very hard for women in the entertainment industry and in the music industry to have control of their money. Talk to Sharon Stone about this. You had her on your show, and she was talking about Britney Spears. She was talking about how it's really incredible how she can't control her own freaking money. Okay, it's a lot, and I'm telling you exactly who's doing it. It's these they're gay Nazi assholes. Okay, and that's who's doing it. It's tobacco gay Nazi assholes, in particular right now, this week, at the Kelly Clarkson show. And so and they're also controlling, just like Britney Spears, your money when it comes to the divorce thing, okay, with that child support. So I'm trying to get the child support constitutional challenge to child support, which all child support is unconstitutional, and it's destabilizing for the child. It's destabilizing for the family. It's got to go, and it will go. And I'm trying to do that. But at the same time, another way to help you in that regard is to attack the one piece of garbage who's behind all that, trying to take your money through the gay Nazi assholes in the family court. The judge, your judge guy that you agreed to, he's gay, Gordon Scott, right? And then so it's like so when I attacked him this way yesterday, I apologized. I didn't apologize. I said it's too late now to turn back. Okay, that's what the karaoke was. But it's helping I think it's helping the child support stuff too. Because these guys are trying to paint in the media that he's, we need to help him be this farmer, whatever piece of garbage that he's doing over there, lazy a-hole. Okay, I've been through it, baby girl. I've been through it with my own gay guy. Okay, and it's like, and I understand the criticism. They're doing the same thing to you they did to me. They're doing it to Britney Spears. I mean, I was sitting there on the witness stand in 2008 talking about this, and the jury said not guilty in 5 minutes and came out, and said, Godspeed in cleaning this out. This is horrible what we're witnessing here. Why are we here? Why did they, it was so obvious that it was just so messy. And the judge that I was accused of Marjorie Slayfuck. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I wasn't supposed to swear. Marjorie Slayback. But I say, what's her name? But I didn't want to swear, but she's just a freaking child abusing lesbian. Okay. And she's still out there. She's still out there abusing kids. She thanks to me, she's no longer a judge. She was just a commissioner actually, but that ended. But it took a Herculean effort on my part, and then she went back into being what this guy is, the Gordon Scott. Anyway, she's still out there. She's still a lawyer. What is it called? A divorce lawyer or whatever that is. It's just slime they're the bottom of the slime. And no, you don't need them. You don't need them for the custody because anyway. So what I'm saying is, I think just naturally while I'm attacking Comcast and the slime there, it's also helping you with the child support and the kid stuff because it's all kind of connected. It's the same kind of swamp. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. When I help you there, it's the stench of the ex over there, but once the stench of the ex over there goes away, the stench of your ex around the family court stuff will go away too, I think. So, but it never goes away completely, and they're like worse than vampires to stop. But okay, so they're following me because they know I'm spot on in what's going on. So they did the opposite. They're trying to get everybody. When I just got through saying in yesterday's tutorial, now they're going to do the opposite. So everybody's going to look at this and go, oh, look at that. That means Comcast is going to pretend to go down in the morning and then go up tomorrow. No, Comcast is going to pretend to go up and they're going to do the opposite because they're trying to prove me wrong. So this is what Comcast is going to do for tomorrow for you day traders. It's going to go up in the daytime to pretend like it's still going up. But from the graph, it's done. It's going to tank, and it's going to tank for a long time after tomorrow. It could be anyway, so that's what it's going to do tomorrow. I think when we look at the 5, what is it doing? Yeah, look at that. You really think that's going to go up higher from now? Look how weak. It's like, they're pushing out so much money to prove me wrong. But it's just like, oh my God, that is going to tank so hard. And it might tank, it might go bankrupt starting tomorrow. Okay, anyway, but they did this to the 1-day graph to prove me wrong about what I said. Yesterday, Cisco looked like this. And when I saw that, I said, this means Cisco tomorrow is going to start low, like negative, and look like it's tanking and then end up high. So they did it to Comcast so that it looks like I'll say the same thing. Oh yeah, it's going to start. Look at that. There's the evidence. No, they manipulated the stock to make it so that it's completely wrong tomorrow, and it makes me look wrong. But I'm not going to be wrong because here I am. I'm telling you what it's going to do because I've read. I could read what the swamp people are doing. They're trying to prove me wrong. That's the number one goal right now of a lot, and it's kind of I'm impressing myself. I'm impressing myself. So I'm in deep war mode, and I've been neglecting my boo. But I read somewhere somebody said like their whole personal life is kind of blowing up a little bit, and they said, "Well, congratulations. That means that your professional life is doing great." And it feels like I really feel like I'm making a big difference right now, in like we're making leaps and bounds and just exposing the freaking swamps, getting them to implode. I feel like for now, that's why I'm doing this, and I'm deep war mode, and then I forget to do a Nikolioki. But just know, baby girl, I'm there. It's just, you understand. I think you understand when I'm in war mode. I just kind of, I don't want to, what did it say? I forget, I just sang it. I just sang Nikolioki. Okay, so this is going longer already than what I wanted. But I just wanted to show this. I was right about Cisco, and now I'm going to be right about Comcast, which is going to start tomorrow high, It's going to go up in the morning like, oh, look at that. It's going to keep going. And it's going to reach a peak at whatever after a half an hour or so. And then it's going to start to tank. Like, that's the highest it's ever going to be for the rest of the company's life. It's tomorrow morning. Okay? Tomorrow morning is the highest it's ever going to be, people. Short the shit out of Comcast tomorrow morning at okay, let's say 10 a.m. Eastern time. Like, when does the market open? I don't even remember. Whatever. Just 10 a.m. tomorrow. Short the hell out of Comcast. I was tempted. I did. Okay, I'm not going to even. I'm not invested. I'm very tempted now to just go in. I used to dabble and be right a lot, and I've also been wrong, but I just, because it's boring. It's boring. If you could be right and you can make a living doing it, but you can't make too much of a living. It's like the house always wins. You can make, I've already explained this before, but though I'm tempted to do it now, I feel it's unethical because it's almost like you don't bet. It's like, first of all, you never bet against yourself. And it feels like Comcast this is my boo. It's kind of like a family member to me. And you just don't invest inside. This is like, it would be unethical. It feels like, I mean, it wouldn't be because, but it would feel like it's a family member to me in my mind. And you don't invest, and you especially don't, if you're going to invest in the stock. If I invest in Comcast, it's going to have to be buying it so that it goes up because I'm investing in my boo and I'm believing it's going up. It's not going up. I hate saying this, but I'm certainly not going to never bet against yourself ever. My old thesis advisor taught me that. He says, I said, you want to bet on this and that? He goes, no, you should never bet against yourself ever. So I get that. So you never bet against, and that would be a betting against myself because it's my boo. So it's the same thing. But I'm just telling you, I'm telling you that anybody else out there who isn't related in any way, unless you're one of the workers who's getting fired for the wrong reasons, then go ahead, go for it. If you're getting fired because you refuse to wear a mask or something, bet the hell out of it. Short the hell out of the stock tomorrow and enjoy as they tank over that garbage for firing you for refusing to wear a mask. Okay. So yeah, that's that. And they're doing the opposite. And so let's see what Comcast is going to do. They've already broken through every support line I could think of. I don't know what the hell they're thinking they're going to do right now. They announced today that some black guy was going to head the human resources somewhere, and it was just like, yeah, okay, that's going to really do it. Just show how very woke you are, and that's going to really turn your company around. It just feels very, very negative right now as far as they just still don't freaking get it. They don't seem to really grasp how much trouble they're in. So it's like, that's it. So Comcast might bounce a little bit at it might hit a bounce for a weak support line down here. It's just like Disney. They might bounce at 25. They might bounce at 25 if they break through this support line. They're out of business before the end of 2024. They're gone. Another one bites the dust. I was going to do that, but it's about shooting. It's like, dun, dun, dun. Another one bites the dust. And then I go look up the lyrics, and it's all about the bullets are flying and all this stuff. So it's like, okay, never mind. Now's not the time to be singing about bullets flying, because then the freaking Nazis will come and arrest me. They'll say, you're talking about bullets. You can't have free speech. Don't you know we're a freaking fascist Nazi? We're in Nazi land now. You can't talk about anything. So, though it's okay if this guy does it. I think it's Queen. Or no, it was Queen. Yeah, just, of course. Gay guy can do it. So this is, so that's it. Comcast is going to bounce at 20. I think it's higher than that. What the hell is this? Whatever. It's going to bounce at 26, 25, 26. And if it bounces, it's going to end up at 30 at the end of 2024. But anyway, I think it's just going out of business. Disney, Comcast, because they're double swamp. Disney is defense contractor swamp and pharmaceutical swamp, and Comcast is tobacco swamp and pharmaceutical swamp. Bye. Done. Paramount. Oh, what I've been saying is Disney. I've been calling it Disney just ABC, and I've been calling Comcast as NBC, and Paramount Global is CBS. So, para stock. Paramount is, I'm not sure what they are, but they're ugly as hell. Is defense contractor, and defense contractor hasn't even started. The defense contractor swamp hasn't even, look at how swampy this is. It's just the swampiest swampy. Look how ugly this crap is. It's like so freaking ugly. They're way down below. Anyway, it's just, okay. Just get her done. So, Paramount Global is Berkshire Hathaway, defense contractor swamp. They will be bankrupt. Oh, wait, let's see where they might bounce. They might bounce right here. But if they break lower than 20, if they break much lower than where they are now, and I think they're going to, they're bouncing now a little bit. I think they bounced, it was very weak bounce. So you notice the Dow was up by 2-point-something%, but today Paramount Global was only up by 1% or something. So they're not even doing what the Dow is doing, or the stocks. So Paramount Global is bouncing at 20 a little bit, and then once they break below 20, they're going out of business. Spinning off whatever it is. They're going to spin off CBS because they are double swamp. They're defense contractor swamp, and they are pharmaceutical swamp, just from the way that they are the strictest of all the mandate pushers, just like Home Depot. Okay, I don't see a big pharmaceutical peak here, but that doesn't mean, I mean, they're just pharmaceutical, just from the mandates. I know that. Okay. Google. So we have Google. They went up by 6% today. That seems impressive until you look at the maximum map. It's like, what the hell is 6%? Well, it's just, if you look at the 5-year, it's like, what are they doing at 6%? Well, they're just going up to this peak right here. So that's all they're doing. That's all they're doing is this. All they're doing is, and you say, wow, that's impressive. They look like they're up. Well, they're going up to this peak. Not even that high. They didn't even do that right. They're on their way up to here, and then they're going to tank some more. This is for, I don't mean to do the day traders, because I'm really, as I said, once I predict, it kind of also, kind of following a nice pattern down. Very manipulated, by the way. Very manipulated. Very, very pharmaceutical swamp. And they have the pharmaceutical peak right here, end of 2021. Very pharmaceutical. YouTube. This is YouTube. Alphabet, Class A is Google, but it's YouTube. And they're going to spin off YouTube because, well, maybe they will. Maybe they won't. But what this up is doing is it's going here, and then it's going to go down. And then up and then down all the way, whatever. Nah. You could almost predict it. But let's go back to the max. Okay, so that's what that up is. This is just going up from the beginning of the down. Okay. Google. Google will probably bounce, but I think they're going to have to get rid of YouTube or spin it off because YouTube isn't going to make it with all this. There's going to be so much scam. So, YouTube is going to bounce. At 60 in 2023, but if it falls below 60 in 2023, it's all over. And if it bounces, it's going to be okay, but I don't know. That looks like a pretty strong downward spiral too. So anyway, we're looking out for Google to be at 60, and then we'll find it from there, but it won't be much further from that. It'll be 60 and then maybe 60, 65 or something by the end of 2024. But yeah, it's going down. All right. Google 60, 61. It's got to bounce. All right, done. Google. That's all I do. I do ABC, NBC, CBS, Facebook, ABC, NBC, CBS, YouTube, and then Facebook. I usually do it in that order. Facebook again. Wow, what a great day. I think they're trying to prove me wrong, to be honest. 8% in one day. Wow. Short squeeze. Well, look at this graph and tell me if that makes a shitload of difference. So Facebook is all sorts of swamp. They're so bad. They're broken way down. There's no support lines. I have no idea what they think they're doing or where they're going. It's not anywhere but down. Okay, I don't know what the hell. I can't even figure out what they're going to bounce off of. Everybody, all the media swamp stocks, they're all going out of business, being spun off. They're in all deep cockaboo-doo-doo. Like deep cockaboo-doo-doo. 0 by the end of 2024. I don't even see a bounce. It's just there's no up, there's no down. I don't know what they think they're going to bounce off of. Like, what the hell? There's nothing. No support lines, no product, all fake. All their products are drying up, meaning like the California DMV paying them to give them good profiles on people to make up juries and all this swamp stuff. It takes money to run that stuff, but they're not getting any more money from any of the tobacco, pharmaceutical, defense, whatever it is. Just very swampy. What the hell do you expect? Really, seriously, you boot off a sitting president of the United States because you have some theory? He wasn't even convicted of anything. He wasn't anything because the news agency said one thing and then some swamp people said another, and all of a sudden, through rumors and gossip and whatever, oh, well, we don't believe that, blah, 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 and then they kick him off from rumors, and this is okay with everybody? This is okay with everybody? Yeah, apparently. Not okay with the real world of, peaceful self-governing, because they're not following the rules of peaceful self-governing. Bye, Felicia. Out of business. So far, Google is the only one that isn't going out of business because they have other stuff and they're going to spin off YouTube, but maybe they're going to just hold it all the way to the bottom. Who knows? All right. So that's 5 down. Next up, who's on the chopping block? Some media swamp stocks. Facebook. Then I do Netflix. Marlboro Obama's first choice of where to go. Of course. With all his swampy stuff, they were going to advertise the little black kids cigarettes. 8.75 today. Wow, they're really proving me wrong. It's just a short squeeze. But the thing is, I don't know where the hell they think they're going. I say, if you really believe that right here is the bottom, then go for it. But they are tobacco and pharmaceutical, and I don't think they've changed. Now they're just like so weakly oversold. You really think that's the bottom right here all of a sudden? Okay. Maybe it is. Well, and maybe they could just keep moving. I don't know how costly it is to keep Netflix stock floating instead of tanking. Maybe it's worth it to them, but I don't care. Spend your money. That's great. Weaker for the, and it's like there's not even following any kind of. Netflix will be out of business by the end of 2024. I don't even see. Is this a bounce? That's a bounce here. It's bouncing pretty well off of that support line, but huh. If Netflix keeps going and doesn't go out of business, they will be at 200 by 2024. They actually might be at 200 in 2024 and still go out of business after that, because this could go up a little while, and then I don't think they could sustain this. I think they're going to come back down to test the bottom. We'll see if it bounces on the next test down. Oh, this is fake. It's just done. Okay, Netflix is going to be at 200 in 2024 and probably going out of business. If they haven't gone out of business by then, it's still going to be pretty far down from where they are right now. This is definitely not going much further up from here, that's for sure. It's either going to go up a little bit more, but it's going to end up here at 200 or out of business. Bye, Felicia. Sick of your freaking cigarette ads for years. And then we have CNN, Warner Brothers Distribution. Okay, so this is one of these ones that I said if they've spun off recently, they're going out of business. So CNN's going out of business. They spun it off already, so they knew way back whenever they spun this off in April. They knew in April of this year that CNN was going bankrupt, so they spun it off into its own little company. CNN, Warner Brothers Pictures, Eurosport, whatever this garbage is. It's just like, we're just going to throw that into the garbage bin. And that's going out of business. But they're going to save Warner Brothers, the bigger company. So Warner Brothers, CNN, out of business by the end of 2024. Bankrupt. And Warner Brothers. Listen to me, though. Like, this is pretty. And Fox was spun off, too. They're both coming in lower. So Fox was spun off. It's probably defense contractor. So as bad as this looks here. Let me just draw this, though. Just to be. 2024, 2025 is way out here. Jeez. Sorry, guys. Oh, that is the 5-year. Oh, the 5-year and the max are the same. Okay, never mind. Okay, I was wondering, like, what am I trying to do? That's what you're trying to do. Trying to figure out what 2023, 2024, 2025. It's at 0. And there's, I don't know what the support line is. Yeah, going out of business. So Fox Corp Class B, Fox is out of business as we know it at the beginning of 2025, right at the end of 2024. Out of business or spun off, but they already spun off, so I'm not sure what they're doing. Like, all sorts of crap's going to happen. I mean, when I say they're not going to file for bankruptcy, I don't think they ever quite do that, I think, but there's going to be the equivalent of that, which is, whatever. It's just bad news. The stock's going to be down. It's going to go to become worthless. So, what else did I say on my list? I had those 8 minus, I took Fox and Paramount off my list because I wanted to make room, and because I didn't trust Murdoch. I didn't trust that Paramount one would tank, but now I'm positive it's going to tank. I wish I put it back on my list, but I can only have 11 on my list. I had $11 million, and I had to spend $1 million on each stock, and I bought $1 million worth of Twitter stock, and then I shorted everything else. So I shorted 6 from here. So it was these 8 minus. Okay, so what else? MO. Let's do Marlboro. So what are they doing? Marlboro has a. Let's just do this real fast. I think it's just going to be an hour long here. Marlboro. Marlboro is going to be at I just really want to say they're going to be out of business, but they might have some legitimate they might be trying to now market and corner the e-cigarette. I think they're trying to monopolize that too, and everybody's letting them do it. So, Marlboro is going to be at 26 at the end of 2024. All right. The next one was Pfizer. I'm shorting. Pfizer is going to be. These are conservative. If not out of business from lawsuits by then. It's going to be a while, though. I don't think they're going to be. Maybe by then. Things are happening a lot faster than I think sometimes. A lot of times. Pfizer is going to be at 30 at the end of 2024. Something like that. I don't know. So that's 6, 7, 8. And then I also shorted Salesforce and Microsoft. Because I hate Microsoft. Salesforce because they're going out of business. Okay, so that's that. I already did those when I did the Dow. And then when I look at just really quickly, one last thing I wanted to show you was the defense stocks. I'm not going to do them, but I just wanted to say that General Dynamics looks like it could possibly go out of business. It's so ugly. This thing is like, what the heck happened there? It's looking like, like the tobacco stocks. It's looking like the defense contractor. Anyway, General Dynamics. Boeing is horrible. They might be okay. I don't even want to do Raytheon. I'm sick of them. Lockheed Martin looks okay. And Northrop Grumman looks kind of okay. They're very swampy. They're going to come down a lot. All these guys are overdone here. Very swampy. But General Dynamics looks not only swampy, but it might actually go out of business or have to be spun off. Out of these. And then we're going to do, what fun. Let's do Tesla right now, actually, now that I see it here. Tesla. Cracks me up. So, Tesla. Sorry, let's do that, and then we're done. Then I got to go to bed, 12:45. Shoot. So, Tesla, we have November 2021 to April, November, December, January, February, March, April. 5 months to April to August. April, May, June, July, August. August, September, October, November, December, January, February. Okay, February. Oops, sorry. This is too obvious, but I just followed the pattern. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But with nothing else left to do, you'd be surprised at how often they follow the pattern when the stocks are manipulated. So in February of 2023, Tesla will be at $275, and then it's gonna peak there and then come down to, I forget when the month. I didn't even check the months. Anyway, February, Tesla's going to be at 275. February, in a couple more months from now. 5 months from now. No, not 5 months. February, a few months from now. And It's just you see I'm following the pattern. So in April, February, and then in April of 2023, it'll be it's coming down to 1. This is so boring, guys. I'm tired. 150. Anyway, I think Tesla's just going to keep going down until it settles. It's going to bounce at some point, but I'm not sure what the hell. It's so funny. I think this is Trump. I think Trump made this go up to make sure that Bill Gates went out of business, which he did. Very powerless now. Oh, they're saying he's buying up all the land or something. I don't know what. Just ignore it. He's just washed up. Oh, that was pretty good. I'll keep that. So Tesla's by 2024 will reach a low at around 100, and then it'll be fine from there. It'll settle into a nice little pattern. But this is just crazy overbought. It's fun. It's so crazy. It's funny. I mean, anyway. Bye, everybody. I gotta go bed. Sorry, it's so boring. I think that was it. I don't think there's any other stocks that are. And I'm done. I'm gonna put everything I said today on this list, and then I have to put it in a PDF file because you can't post anything unless it's a YouTube website or a PDF file that I put on my Google Drive, and then I post a link to it like a shared document. But I can't post the word like a document like this, even though maybe I can. But whatever, it'll be summarized here, and then I'll be done with stocks forever and ever. Do the Dow, oversold, you were right, straighten out the Home Depot. Okay, we're done with that. Check, done, bye. Okay, peace out. Not peace out. Oh, I can't believe I just said that. Oh, good Lord. Everything's gonna be okay, everybody. Hang in there. Living my best life. Half asleep. And Godspeed to everybody coming out the other side in one piece. We'll talk to you on Sunday. Hopefully I'll be well slept by then. Okay, bye.